Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on restoring this headlight. We're going to try this on two different vehicles. We have a restoration kit. We'll be using this 3M restoration kit. We will be needing a separate drill for this and some masking tape. We're going to go ahead and use this and see the results. And if you guys do have some sandpaper laying around, you guys can just sand down the headlight, polish it, and put on some wax or a clear coat, and the results will be just the same or even better. Alright guys, so for this process we'll be needing the actual kit itself with masking tape because it's not included, handheld drill, any kind of cleaner, soapy water or a glass cleaner will do. And I'm gonna take extra precautions. I'm gonna use a polish with the compound that's included with the kit and a wax to seal and protect our headlight from the UV rays. And also don't forget to have a few microfibers handy. Oh, and before I forget, I'm also going to be using 1000 grit and a 2000 grit because this kit only goes up to 800 grit and then it jumps to 3000, and I want to kind of bridge that gap so that there isn't any big scorching marks. So we're going to go ahead and use these two to finish that job. So let's go ahead and open this kit up. So it comes with the compound, the adapter for the drill, the polishing pad, and then we have the 3000 grit. It's kind of like a pad, a foam pad. Then we have 800 grit. We have a couple of them right here, and then it jumps down to 500 grit and a couple of them too as well. So let's get into the process. Alright guys, so we're gonna pop the hood just so we don't have to mask the top part of the headlight. And we're gonna begin to mask off the surrounding area. Alright guys, now that we have everything masked off, we're going to clean off the headlight and we're going to begin sanding down. Okay, so we're just going to spray it down with some soapy water. We're going to wipe it down with the clean microfiber. And you can see that a little bit of dirt is coming off. And we're going to shoot it with this glass cleaner. And you can see that removed a lot of that oxidation. And a little tip is to probably mask off after you clean it. And I should have done that, but now it's kind of too late, so let's begin sanding it down. Alright guys, so we're going to begin with the 500 grit, and we're going to touch it to the pad. And then we're going to put it on the drill. Okay, so now that it's attached, we're going to go ahead and start sanding it down. Alright, as you guys can see, the headlight's pretty caked up, so we're gonna wipe it down, and I'm gonna do another pass with the drill, and then I'm probably gonna use a separate just take off the pad and hit the little spots that I can't reach with the drill. And if the masking tape does rip, just patch it up and make sure you guys don't scuff up your paint. Alright, after cleaning it, you can see that it's pretty hazy, but it's kind of not consistent all over, so I'm going to go at it again and make sure that the sanding haze is all consistent all over, and I'm going to go at it by hand just to get these smaller areas. Alright you guys, so I'm going to use this separate 500 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to go at it with my hand. Alright you guys, now that I did a couple passes with the 500, we're going to move on to the 800, and we're going to take off the sanding pad. Okay, so here we have the 800. We're going to attach it. Okay, so next we're going to go with this one. Alright you guys, we finished off with the 800 grit, and we kind of cleaned it up here a bit, and we're gonna hit it with the 1000 grit, and then we're gonna move on to the 2000, and we're gonna apply the compound finish, and then polish it, and then put on the wax. So let's get to these two. Okay, so now that we hit it with the 1000 grit, it's a lot more finer, and we're gonna finally hit it with the 2000 grit and move on to the compound and polish. So let's get started with this one. Alright, you guys are finished with the 2000 grit. Now we're going to move on to this 3000 pad right here. And we're going to go ahead and wet sand it. Everything completed, we have all the sanding process completed them. We did the 3000 grit. We're gonna apply some compound and apply it with the polish pad right here. Then once we're done with the compound, we're gonna move on to a polish right here, and then after the polish we're gonna protect it with the wax. So let's get to it and apply this compound. Oh, and also when you guys apply the compound, we'll want to apply a nickel size mount. So we'll just tear it open. We'll apply a nickel size amount. That should be a good. Then we'll rub it onto the headlight, just so it doesn't splatter all over the place. And then we'll work it in. Alright you guys, so that's the first pass. We're gonna buff it out. And already it looks a million times better. But I'm still not very happy with the results, so I'm gonna do a second pass probably and go into these smaller crevices again, just because there's still some haziness left. So I'm gonna hit it again in the smaller areas. As you can see over here, right there, it's still pretty hazy, so I'm gonna go at it with the microfiber probably and try to get that buffed out, and then we're gonna hit it with the polish and see the results after. Alright you guys, we did a second pass with the compound and you can see that it's way more clear. We're gonna go at it with the polish real quick. We'll do a couple passes with that, but you can already see that it's really clear. And there's still some spots where it's kind of hazy down here in the harder to reach areas, but I'm gonna try to get those off camera. Alright you guys, so this is what the headlight looks like. It's a lot better than what we started with, but there's still some haziness in these smaller areas, which is really hard to get, especially with the pad that the kit provided us with. So I just went in with the microfiber and applied the compound and polish. And right now here in a bit I'll apply that wax to protect the results. But on this side we can see that, you can tell that there's a huge improvement. This one's all oxidized and hazy, and this side is clear. And it's so much nicer. Alright, so after applying the wax, we're gonna let it haze up and then we'll buff it off. Okay, now that some of the wax is hardened, we're gonna remove the wax and see the final results. You guys can see that how much better this looks, and I'm pretty happy with the results. It came out really clear. Just at spots like this, it's still pretty hazy and it's really hard to get in there with the polish pads that they provide. But if I would have removed this whole headlight, obviously the results would have came out a little bit better. But with that kit and a little bit of elbow grease, it came out pretty well. And I'm gonna repeat this process with the passenger side, and I'll show you guys the final results on that side once I get finished. That's the whole process for restoring the headlights. And yeah. Alright you guys, so after doing the restoration on the Corolla, my girlfriend saw the results on the Corolla and she really wanted me to do it on her car. And it's a 04 Mercedes, so you can see that these headlights are really yellowed and oxidized and very blurry. So we're gonna go ahead and do these and check out how that kid does on these. So yeah, we're just gonna do mainly time lapse since you guys already saw the process on the Corolla. We're gonna go ahead and do this one and restore it and see how it looks. Alright you guys, that's the end result of the headlights. We restored them and it looks so much better compared to this side. You can tell that there's a huge difference. And yeah, we're just gonna repeat the same process on this other side. And that's gonna conclude today's video.